All right, clap it up. Shalom Israel. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos de un oeste, calle 125, en Harlem, Nueva York, abajo del Comandante General Yahana. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana. And since 1969, we've been bringing the truth of the Bible to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, informing you that you are the true Israelites in the Holy Bible. And tonight's ISPK class is ISPK's law class here in San Antonio. And Salaki for the tardiness. You know, I just got out of the slave not too long ago, so you know that's the reason why we're late. But anyway, we're gonna rock it out. Tonight's class is entitled, "What is Marriage According to God?" You know, a lot of our so-called Black and Hispanic sisters, they want an extravagant wedding, right? You know, they grow up thinking that, oh, I'm gonna get this white dress, and then I'm gonna have all my friends and family there in the chapel, and the preacher is gonna marry me to my husband, and that ideal wedding that every little girl dreams of is not in the Bible. It's not. You can't find that in the Bible. You don't find uh anywhere where a Catholic priest marries you. But you do find marriage in the Bible. Yes, you do. But it's not according to this Eurocentric way of you know coming together with the one that you love. It's not it. Because they will have you spend thousands of dollars on this particular event, right? That they say that's when you're married. You spend thousands of dollars. Never mind you that you have to go to the JP, the Justice of the Peace, right, to get a license. You have to get a license. You have to ask the government for permission to get married, because that's what the license is for, right? The license allows you to, file your taxes as married, right? You're allowing, the devil, the white man, to rule over you, even through marriage, even through choosing the partner you're supposed to be with for life. When that right goes to the Most High God, we have desensitized what marriage truly is, and that's why marriage, is an all-time low nowadays within all of society. Not only blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, but even white society. Um, all nations, especially here in the United States, marriage is an all-time low. Divorce is an all-time high. But there's a reason for this. It's because we don't know the truth about marriage. We take marriage so lightly as a game, oh, I can just get a divorce and try again. When that's not how it was meant to be. Never. It was never meant to be. Even from the beginning, it was never meant to be that. We're going to get into it. Let's pull up Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. But before you do, I'm gonna say this. See, marriage is very simple. Very simple. People complicate it with going out and getting a license and you know renting that big salon for the wedding ceremony. You got to get the mariachi band, or you got to get that good DJ that plays all the good hits, right? And never mind all the food that you're going to spend, and then the dress, and what I mean, it becomes extravagant, and that that blinds society because it takes away from the simplicity of marriage. Marriage is simple. Marriage is not supposed to be so complicated to where, you see all these vows in front of the pastor, to where you vow it to your specific other, right? Your loved one that you're about to so-called marry that day, not knowing that most likely nowadays you're already married, whether you have that marriage certificate license already signed by the judge, the JP, or the pastor or the preacher that you went up in front of, right? Most likely nowadays you're already married. We're going to explain how. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis 2:24.
Right.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife.
Shall cleave unto his wife. Right. That's the very first mention of a wife in the Bible. Right. A man shall leave his household, right where he grew up at. He leaves his father's household, and he starts a new household, a new family with his wife. But how does he cleave to his wife? How is she his wife? We're going to get further into it. Salakia, can you pull up Genesis chapter 24, verse 67? But before you do, I'm going to explain something. You see, in society, oh, Salakia. Yeah, Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. See, in society, they push that fairy tale wedding to where all our daughters want to have. You right? Because without that, they don't feel like they're married or the right way, right? They don't feel like they're married the right way. Oh, we had to go before the preacher. We had to go before, the father, to be married the right way, which is completely twisted. Completely twisted. Because according to God, the right way is for that man that you're going to get married to go to your father before y'all get married, to go to your father, and he has to ask for a dowry. You know what I mean? He has, well, it's like he asked for the hand in marriage, and he's got to pay the dowry, which is, there's an exchange happening, a promise, an exchange. But nowadays we don't do that. Nowadays that's really shunned upon, because, oh, now I'm just a piece of property, right? But that's a completely twisted way of looking at it. Because don't you say that's my husband? These are my kids. Are you saying that's your property? That man is your property? Yes. Are those your kids? Yes. So when a man gains a wife, he gains a good thing. He gains a household, but we're not putting so much emphasis on the outcome of marriage. We're just looking forward to the big day, right? The big ceremony. That's why our daughters are looking forward to that white dress, and everybody just paying attention to them because it's their day. But that has completely twisted what marriage really is. Well, marriage really is, according to God, is the man and woman coming together. That's what marriage is. It's simple. Like, even in like, let's say, the mechanical world, right? When you're going to marry the engine to the, let's say, the chassis or whatever, what happens to, you marry it, it comes together, which means something gets inserted into something, right? That's what marrying is, when two become one. It's not when y'all walk down the aisle together and they throw rice at you. That's not what marriage is. No, because Nowadays, if that was marriage, the sanctity, Salaki, I'm twisting over my words right now. The sanctity of marriage has been trodden down upon, and it's time for us to realize what marriage truly is in order to have successful marriages. And we can't have successful marriages if we go by these Eurocentric ways of looking at what marriage is. Can't do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, it's Genesis chapter 24, verse 67.
The book of Genesis 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent.
Right. Isaac, remember our forefather Isaac, he brought Rebecca into his mother's tent. Go ahead.
And took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
Whoa. He took her in his mother's tent. Remember what happened? Like let's give a little bit of context to this. His mother had just died. So he was mourning the death of his mother. So he took Rebecca into his mother's tent. Read it from the top.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
And she became his his fiance.
His wife.
No, she became his girlfriend.
His wife.
No, like a fling thing.
His wife.
His wife. So if you bring somebody into your chambers, and go ahead, go ahead with that.
And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
So if you bring somebody into your chambers and you're comforted, what happens? What happens when you bring somebody into your chambers and you're comforted? Sex is what happens. He laid down with Rebecca and had sex with Rebecca. Netflix and chill. Yeah. But read it from the top.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
She became his wife when he was comforted. They didn't go before a judge, or they didn't go before a Catholic priest. No. He brought her into his mother's tent and he had sex with her. That's when she became his wife. When they married, when he entered into her, when she allowed that man into herself and they became one flesh. That's how, a man and a woman are married. Not by that ceremony that every little girl dreams of. Not by that ring, that piece of gold that you put around your finger. Because if that ring meant anything nowadays, there wouldn't be such a high rate of infidelity amongst blacks and Hispanics. That ring doesn't mean anything. When that man gets down on one knee and gives you that ring, oh, okay, yeah, it's a beautiful gesture. I'm not going to say it's not. It's a beautiful gesture, meaning that he's humbling himself to you, and he's going to dedicate his life to you. That's a beautiful gesture. But it doesn't mean anything. What means something is when y'all become one flesh. That, in the eyes of God, is marriage. Read from the top.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Right. He was comforted from the mourning of his mother by Rebekah. She comforted him in that tent. Now, how did she comfort him? With herself. He loved her. That's how he was comforted. He loved her. She became his wife that night when they came together. Slakia. Let's go to Exodus No, no. Yeah, you can drop that in 67. Let's go to Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. Right. Yeah, hold on. Let me get that with you real quick. But before you read it, I'm gonna say something real quick. But let me get it for you. Exodus 22 and 16. Right. See, if we obeyed the words of God, all these cases of adultery, infidelity wouldn't exist within blacks and Hispanics because we would take marriage more seriously. But since we don't understand what marriage truly is, that's why we have casual sex. You know what I mean? But when sex is involved, it complicates things. It's no longer just a friendship. It's no longer just, a fling because two become one in that instance. And emotions are going to run high. It's just it's just a fact. It's scientifically a fact because your body is sharing oxytocins and dopamine, right? You come together on a chemical level. You're sharing, bodily fluids and your chemical chemistry blends. It really is be two coming together to become one. It really is. You're sharing your very essence with the person. When a man enters into a woman, he shares his very essence into her, and how can I say, she accepts it into herself. So much so that that man's essence, we all know what we're talking about, right? The life force that he expunges into her. So much so that a man's essence stays within that woman for several days. No matter how much she tries to wash it out, it stays within her. It's crazy to me how our people just have this willy nilly. When oh, go ahead. Yes, yes, it entangles into her DNA because it's his DNA going into her. Like so, where does life come from? Life comes from the Most High, right? Of course. But here on like the physical realm, how does life come about? When a man enters into a woman and he puts his essence into her, and she incubates that essence until that life force comes out of her, right? There's no other, how can there is no other higher definition of two becoming one than sex. That's when two become one. That's when two are married. It's not when you go into the JP and just get that license signed by the judge. That paper doesn't mean anything because if it did, the divorce rate wouldn't be so high. The divorce rate here in America wouldn't be so high amongst blacks and Hispanics if we actually took that paper into any type of regard. That paper is hanging up in some people's bedroom, and then they go and lay with another man. That paper doesn't mean anything. That paper is right next to the picture of her husband while she's laying down with his best friend, while she's allowing his best friend into her. Well, when that act is sacred, only meant for them two. Go ahead and read. Genesis, no, Exodus 22 and 16.
Exodus, the book of Exodus 22:16. And if a man entice a maid,
Whoa. So if a man entice a maid, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean, young man?
um, to like run game on her,
Yeah, it's exactly what it means to
entice
run
her,
game on
run
her.
to entice her,
To
you
like,
run game on her, you like you know, you kind of like you
I
know,
was like, hold up, well, where you from? Can I
entice her
get?
means probably already getting her to like you.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's,
mean?
it's
You
spin spin game.
getting,
It,
but I guess it's
it's
the
spin
part
game.
if
See,
she
now
likes you
nowadays
already.
the art of seduction or enticement is really dwindled down because of I blame it on social media. I do because it's so people call Facebook the F book, right? Because it made how can I say in not infidelity but promiscuity what's the word promiscuity, there we go, promiscuity. It made promiscuity uh because that was always around, right? But it made it at an all time, yeah, to be promiscuous. It made it at an all time high because now you can just do it at a tough touch of a button. But it wasn't always so. When during my time, you had to at least go up to face to spit a little bit of game to to entice them, right? You have to have a little bit of game, a little bit of conversation with her. Yeah, you had to know how to talk to them, how to how to woo 'em with words first, right? First is okay. I'm not taking away physical attraction, right? Physical attraction has always got to be there first, but it's not always. It's that's not always the thing because you could be physically attracted to somebody, and then once they start talking to you, you're like, oh no, this person's an idiot. You're like uh. So you got to have a little bit of game with your conversation. You know what I mean? You got to have a little bit of salt, a little bit of flavor to you. And that now that is so diminished nowadays. Nowadays it's just um I don't even know how they do it on Facebook, right? They just DM them and I don't know, they send nudes or whatever or what have you. It's just so played down. It's like what's the excitement out of the thrill of the chase? You know what I mean? It's not there no more. It's not there no more. People don't do that no more. You know, okay, you got them right. You got you pulled her number. Now you got to keep her interest. So how do you keep her interest? You're on the phone with them till like 3 in the morning. What do whoop. You know what I mean? First off, you do what's your favorite color? You get to know them. It's all the basics, and then all of a sudden you got to find ways to keep them interested, to keep them on the hook, right? So you got to find different angles to come to. Nowadays, that art is gone. That art is gone. Yeah, it's all about. Yeah, he got that flashy chain on. Yeah, yeah. It's all twisted. Yeah, yeah. It's easier, but then at the same time, when 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 you're actually sincere and you know the truth, it's damn near impossible to find somebody out in the world. It's damn near impossible because you always have to have a guard on, right? Just like you always have to have a guard on you, like to where okay, what's their angle? What's their angle? I mean, and it's hard to let that guard down. But back in the day, people, you know, they would run game. You know what I mean? It was a chase kind of. Well, let's start it from the top. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not
Betroth.
Betrothed.
Well, betroth means she's not promised to another man.
Okay.
That's what betrothed is. Like if like let's say let's give the context for this scripture right here. Back in the day, men would go to the father of a young lady, right, of a maid, and they would ask, is your daughter, of marriageable age? Is she okay to marry now? And he would say, no, not yet. Give her a few more years, or yeah, she's good. She's good to marry now. Like, I would like some grandchildren. It's like so they would ask, who's your daddy in them? Well, what family you come from? All right, okay, y'all are good people. Okay, I've heard good things about your dad. All right, I tell you what, son, uh, give me a dowry. Give me. I want so many acres for you to even go and talk to and try to get my daughter. I want so many acres. I want so much head of cattle for you to even go speak to my daughter, right? And if you promise me that, you can go speak to her. You know what I mean? And then he has to go and still go and try to run his game on her, right? Try to go woo her. Yeah, after all that. And then if she accepts it, like, okay, then and then she's betrothed to him. That don't happen nowadays. But anyway, read it from the top.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
Right. So if he entices a maid that's not betrothed, so he sees this PYT walking through the court, right? Through the city court on her way to buy bread or what have you, right? And he goes over there and he strolls up to her and he starts talking his game to her, right? And she becomes interested in her. And well, she becomes interested in him, and he's interested in her, right? So he's enticed her. Go ahead.
and lie with her,
And lie with her, right? So he already laid down his Mac, right? So now he did the do. He lied with her. Go ahead.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
No, he shall surely ask her to be his girlfriend.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
No, they just have a fling going on.
To be his wife.
No, they're just dating.
To be his wife.
He should maybe endow her.
Surely endow her.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife. So he's already married to her, right? Now he's got to go pay that dowry. He's got to, whether she wanted, you know what I mean? Whether the father agreed to or not, he has to go pay that dowry. Whether she told him to go to her father first or not. You know what I mean? He has to go. He has go read it from the top.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife. No, not maybe, surely. He has to because that's his wife. Now he has to go pay that dowry. He's got to go pay that dowry. It's like yeah. Go ahead, go on.
Verse 17. And if her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right. It's like, man, I didn't want you to be with my daughter. I did not want you to be with my daughter. Now you have like the dowry of virgins was a certain amount that that the father would want his daughter to be uh endowed to, right? So just say for a certain amount, he said he would want 17 head of cattle and 60 acres for that cattle, right? And that was the dowry that he wanted for his young virgin of a daughter, right? Well, now he has to pay that. It's not like to where they have to agree to something, right? No, he has to provide what he says, what he's ordered to. They're not going to come to some sort of agreement that he has to pay whatever the father wants.
Again?
Yeah.
Or, so is it two payments or is it
No, no, it's because usually how
her to be his wife?
right. Yeah, surely endow her like because
But if his father refused, if she says yes, he pays.
right.
And if she refuses, he still has to.
Yeah, he's going to pay regardless. He's going to
That's what
he has
that's
sure
what I'm
he has
saying.
surely he must surely endow her to be his wife. But if the father says, "Man, I didn't want to give my daughter to you. I did not." So if he doubles the dowry, it's his right, and he has to pay that. He has to pay that. But it's not that he might have to.
Oh, so this came from us. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's a fucking Ishmael. I want to see like Ishmael be
yeah. No, that's from us.
and Hamite.
Yeah, that's from us. That's from us because these customs and laws are to ward away whoredom amongst our people because
Make it harder.
yeah, make it harder
Yeah. Word away,
for
like, hey, you know what? Make
for
it
whoredom to exist amongst
more respect.
amongst our community, right?
Yeah, make it more like respect.
You have to respect nowadays for our women is gone. Our women don't even respect themselves. When back in the day there it was so much respect for our women that our women wouldn't even venture out to have their feet touch the ground. Salaki, let me pull that up real quick. Let me find that. Let me pull that up real quick. Hold on. Let me find that. Let's pull up Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. See, our women were just so valued that these customs existed, right? And it was to ward off whoredom. So you would have to value our women. You would have to value. Nowadays, our women are not valued. They're not. They're basically treated as an object, as something just to pour your lust into for a night. See, that's why, not sex. Well, yes, sex is such how can I say a defiled uh act. It's just sex. That's crazy because sex is marriage. That's why marriages are so uh destroyed amongst our people because they don't understand what it actually is. Go ahead, use the mic. Oh, okay. No, don't say it then. Yeah,
Now, I was with a woman one time, and she just goes, "Yeah, it was just one time, Jose.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it."
It's
Like she said, she's like so nonchalantly, she's just like, "Yeah, it was just that was it." You know
because
what I'm saying?
she's not valuing herself. I mean,
I mean, I
the
didn't care,
value
but I'm just
of
saying. I
life,
mean,
the value of life, because our women,
kind of cared. I ain't gonna
our women, you know, incubate life within themselves. You know what I mean? They carry the life force of the man, and they incubate it. That's a very precious thing. It's precious, and we just you know devalue it every day when people encounter uh meaningless sex acts like casual sex. We devalue our women.
I have plenty of those. You gotta get used to them. Eventually, you didn't want them. Shit. Like
I
for
mean that's why classes like this are so important, because we were all like that.
I could never really get used to them. That's
We
what I'm
were
like.
all like that, where we didn't know the truth about marriage, about sex, because sex is so pushed out there in society as being just a casual thing that you do just to fulfill your your
Shit, they do it.
your
They test them. They test. Oh no, he didn't do me good. No big deal.
yeah,
You
man,
good?
it's crazy, but it's such filth, right, that's pushed out there, and it's just sex, right? All that mentality that's pushed out there, because they want our society to fall. And what's the basis of our society? Family. Family is the basics of our society. That's how society grows, is with family. You can't have a family without marriage, without sex. That's where babies come from. You know what I mean? That's why people are lining up at these abortion clinics as a result of unwanted pregnancies, because they're not taking themselves as being precious, as being valued. A woman's a woman's nature is to bring forth seed from a man, and a man's nature is to protect that woman, because she is delicate. She needs protection, but we disvalue our women every day by not valuing marriage. Go ahead, read it from the top, from 56.
Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you,
Right, the tender and delicate woman among you. That's you, black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman. Go ahead.
which should not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness,
For delicateness. No, because no, now she's just a bad bee.
for
For
delicateness
delicateness. And what?
and tenderness,
Right. That's how our sisters were such valued. And it's not saying that they were too weak to do anything. No, because our sisters were strong. Just read the records of our sister Esther. You know what I mean? We're about to celebrate Purim coming up, and all that whole memorial, they couldn't exist without a strong sister. It's not saying that our sisters are not strong, but they were valued as being what? Go ahead.
tenderness, Salakia,
Go ahead.
and
Delicateness.
a ground for delicateness and tenderness,
At delicate and tender, for being precious. When something is precious, don't you want to safeguard it and protect it? But now we just chalk it up to where it's just something casual. It's not going to hurt her if we just do it one time and I just throw her away. No, I mean it's kind of crazy to me nowadays, because that's what's making, like, in the airways, right? If you listen to all these rap songs, that the most popular rappers nowadays are females right now. Yes, and what they're even rapping like males. They dress all tender and delicate, like if they're tender and delicate. But if you listen to their lyrics, man, it's ratchet. It's so ratchet. It's crazy, and that's what society is following, because that's what's pushed out there. That's what's pushed out there. Like Cardi B made a quote one time to where she wouldn't listen. She won't let her daughter listen to WAP. No, but she made millions off of that song, right? But she won't let her daughter listen to it. It just goes to show you that they're pushing that agenda out there. Our oppressor, our enemy, the devil, the white man, they're pushing that agenda out there to destroy our women. to devalue our women. So much so that our women are even devaluing themselves. They're not even seeing themselves as tender and delicate anymore. No, they're like, I'm strong and independent. You know what I mean? Can't nobody tell me nothing. So they try to go out there and they try to one up a man by having all these bodies on them. It's crazy to me because if you ask, like, I never do. I never ask a female this because it now now with me knowing the truth of the mentality of our people, I don't ask this anymore. But I used to when I was younger. The body count, right? Women always gonna lie. Women's always gonna lie. Why? Why? Why are they gonna lie? Because it devalues them. It devalues a woman to have a high body count. It devalues them. So why are they devaluing themselves if they're just out there for a good time? You know what I mean? They subconsciously know that their body is precious. They are precious, but then they're still trying to follow what society is deeming to be normal, which is, you know, going out and having these encounters just to fulfill the lust of your flesh. So you can fulfill, some type of status, right? Because that's what men used to do, right? We would devalue our women by trying to, you know, fill our body count, but now the role has switched. Not only are we devaluing our women, they're devaluing themselves. Read it from the top.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
No, she should value him and try to raise up a household in his name so he can be revered.
Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
No, she's always going to respect him, and she's never going to disobey him.
Shall be evil.
Right. It's because our delicate and tender sisters are not valuing themselves. So now they're not valuing marriage. So now their eye is evil towards their husband. It's evil towards them. And this is a curse set on our people for not obeying the commandments of our Father, the Most High God. It's a commandment to value yourself over just having casual sex. It's a commandment that there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. So you can't be just out there willy nilly, just giving yourself up to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're supposed to have more value to yourself. You're supposed to be more tender and delicate.
How are we going to get them to listen?
It's. I mean, it's going to be hard because of society, the way society is out there. But that's why classes like this is needed to open up the eyes of our people. We have to stop upholding Eurocentric ideals, Eurocentric views of marriage. Because if we uphold the Eurocentric view of marriage, we will never see a successful marriage ever in our lifetime. We won't see it. Like we used to see it with our grandparents, but now like with our grandparents, because our grandparents had them same values. Our grandparents and our great grandparents. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's like she'll stay with. Yeah, I mean, but right, right. I mean, marriage used to be a sacred a sacred covenant within blacks and Hispanics, but it's not anymore because we uphold the views of the devil. It's time for us to come out of that. It's time for us to wake up and come back to our true culture. And our true culture valued our women, valued marriage. You can go ahead and drop that. Let's get into um Matthew 19. Let's start at 3. See, marriage is not really taken as heavy as it should be because divorce is just so easy. You know what I mean? Once once the spark fails and the intensity of being in love is over, because it all comes in waves, right? Marriage is not willy nilly and not willy nilly slacking. Marriage is not all crimson clovers. I mean, we're going to have fights and disputes within our marriages. It's just natural. It's how we handle that as husband and wife, as a family, is how the future is to be brought forth. Is how you handle disputes. You can't just run from your marriage just because you're not in love anymore. Yeah, sure, you can still, you know, care for the person and love the person, but being in love, that comes in waves. You're not going to always be in love with somebody. Look at somebody with like such endearment and be so giddy to see them. You know what I mean? Life is going to get in the way. Life and you know, different situations are going to get in the way. But divorce is such rampant amongst our communities because once things get tough like that, we just decide to run. Oh, I'm just going to go find something new to where that feeling is new, afreshed. We don't decide to fight and stick it out, fight for that feeling to become new, afresh within us two, between man and wife. No, you rather step out of that union and go find something new. But this is completely against the scriptures. This is completely against what God has set forth for us. Let's get into it. So hold on. Let me get there with you. I'll tell you when I get it. As book of Matthew, chapter 19, and we'll start at verse 3. Slakia. Yeah, Matthew 19, verse 3. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew 19, verse 3.
No,
The
Slakia.
Pharisees,
Slakia. Yeah, start at verse 3.
the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Yeah, for every cause. And that's what we do now. We when we have a disagreement and say we can no longer agree on the certain subject, so we're just going to part ways, right? We're no longer in love. We love each other, but we're no longer in love, and we're just arguing all the time. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
No, he made them Steve and Stuart.
Male and female.
No, he made them Eve and Eva.
Male and female,
He made them male and female. Go ahead.
and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Shall cleave to his wife. No, he shall cleave to his husband.
Shall cleave to his wife.
No, she shall cleave to her wife.
To his wife.
Right. Go ahead.
And they twain, is that the word, brother? Salakia.
Twain means two.
Twain.
Right.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
Right. See, that's how you are married, is when y'all come together through sex. Salakia. Let me try to get that in the Zondervan. No, go ahead.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
Right. What God has made. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Let not man put asunder. That's your divorce papers, right? When they go to their attorney, and they write up the divorce papers and serve them to their husband. Vice versa too, where the man goes and wants to divorce his wife just because she's not making the eggs the way he likes them in the morning. So he's like, I'm just going to give me a new one because her eggs are too runny, or she's just gained too much weight after the baby. I don't see myself with her anymore. I'm no longer attracted to her anymore. Read it from the top.
Verse 4.
Yeah, read it from verse 3.
Verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
They shall be one flesh. They twain, which is two, shall be one, is when they're married. And I cannot think of a greater act of two being one is when you lay down in the bed, and the man enters into the woman, and the woman allows the man to enter into her. That's when twain become one. Salakia, put a pin in that. I want you to read this right here in the Zondervan. In the Zondervan Bible, we're going to read from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Go ahead, read on their marriage. It's right at that end of it.
And it says, marriage is an intimate personal. Marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
Right. That's what marriage is. Marriage is sex. Marriage is sexual intercourse. That's what marriage is. But society would have you think that it's a piece of paper. It's the man bowing down on one knee, handing a ring to a woman. But marriage is sex. According to God, marriage is sex. Sex is marriage. So you can't just be out there having casual marriages, because that's what you're doing when you're out there just having your flings or what have you. You're just having casual marriages, and then you're departing. That's not what God intended for our daughters to go through. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, you good on that. You can drop that. You're good on that. But yeah, but you're on verse 4. Yeah, I understand.
Verse 5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
Right. They,
Wherefore they are no more twain,
no,
but
there are no more two. No, she's allowed to be her own woman.
no more twain.
No, he should just disregard her and not even think of her again.
No more twain,
There are no more twain. There are one flesh. Go ahead.
but one flesh.
But one flesh. That throws casual sex out the window. Out the window. Sex is not casual. You're consulting with with one another to lay down with. You're having the adult decision with another adult to have sex, right? It's like yeah, my phone. It's like I'm about to wrap it up here in a minute. You're having the you know the decision to lay down with that woman. You're having that decision to lay down with that man. So now you just decided to marry that man and marry that woman. That's what's happening. That's the truth of it. But now, we don't understand what sex is, what marriage truly is, to where we just disvalue it. And yeah, yeah, where women just have rosters, right? They have rosters for it's like a tool. It's like when a man opens up a toolbox and I got a wrench for this, I got a wrench for that, I got a wrench for this. You know what I mean? That's so that yeah, yeah. That's masculine. That's a masculine trait. That's a masculine trait. That's devaluing. Like with women with that mentality, they're devaluing themselves. That's why they're so reluctant to tell the truth about their body count, because they know it devalues them. They know it. But let's go ahead with the scripture. We're about to finish this up.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God had Salakia. What therefore God had joined together, let not man put asunder.
Right. Let not man put asunder. Divorce is not an option. It's not an option. Divorce is not an option. We we here in the ISBK, we don't believe in to where you're out of love with your partner simply because the spark is not there. So now you can just depart. That is not an option. Well, what is the main um the main motto that we have here in ISBK? No cowards. You decided to lie with that woman, you're responsible for that woman to the day you die. To the day you die. You you're supposed to value her more than that and not treat her as some type of object. Go ahead.
Verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
So why did Moses did that? Because back in when we're leaving Mount Sinai, Moses allowed, you know,
An excuse right here, right? They say unto him, why did Moses?
well, they're trying to trip up Christ. They are. Yeah, they're trying to trip up Christ, but Christ is putting the law anew into our minds right here. Yeah, this is red. This is the words of Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
Right. He suffered you to put away his wife. He suffered you to for our men to put away their wives. because we were just so fighting so much. We were coming out of Egypt, right? And he suffered that. He suffered that. But go ahead and read.
From the beginning, it was not so.
No, the divorce was always there.
In the beginning, so like it, but from the beginning, it was not so.
Right. So Christ is re reintroducing what our real morals and understanding is about marriage. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it to be for fornication.
Right. Except to be the fornication. If you put it with your wife, like, no, for any willy-nilly reason, because she gained too much weight after the baby. Go ahead.
Except it to be for fornication.
Except to be for fornication. Right? There's no reason for divorce at all, except for fornication. And that's for her stepping out and laying down with another man. Go ahead.
And shall marry another, committed adultery.
Right. Okay, so he's tired of his wife, right? Because she gained too much weight, or she's just an emotional wreck during certain times of the month. So he just puts her away, right? And he marries another one. What happens?
And whoso marrieth her,
No. Go read.
Salakia,
Yeah.
except it to be for fornication, and shall marry another, committed adultery.
Right. He commits adultery. He commits adultery because he makes that woman to go and step out of that covenant that they made together. He forced her to what? Read it again.
And shall marry another, committed adultery.
Right. Go ahead.
And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery.
Right. That's how adultery is adultery is so rampant here in the Black and Hispanic community, because we're just so reluctant to sign the divorce papers because we just disagree on anything. So divorce is just the answer for everything. But in the beginning, it was not so. Marriage is sacred. Marriage is the building block of the family. But how can we just trample on this sacred, the sacred covenant between man and woman, which is sex? We trample on that. That's why disease is so rampant. That's why, confusion is so rampant within Blacks and Hispanics, because like, where's my dad? Where's my mom? All these households are split because we just take marriage for granted, and we don't understand. We don't know, or yet we don't understand the severity of sex. And then they wonder why they're pregnant. Oh my God, I missed my period. Well, you were out there getting married. What comes from marriage? Children.
That's another hustle here in Toronto.
Tell it.
Another hustle. You don't even know about that.
That's crazy, bro.
Man, I missed my period. Can you send me $50?
Yeah.
For the
See,
for the plan B?
yeah. See how they
Yeah.
that right there, what you just said right there.
What?
They're devaluing life.
Bro, I had this chick in my house.
Yeah.
Bitches would tell me,
Come down. But they're devaluing life because we don't have true understanding of what sex really is, what marriage really is. Sex brings forth life. Marriage brings forth life. That's the building block of our families. We can't have true and strong Israelite families if we don't understand what sex is, what marriage is. Sex is marriage. So when you're out there laying down with a woman, you know what I mean, all casually, you're now tied to that woman to the day you die. you're responsible for that woman. We have to take this more into consideration to what, all this debauchery is, affect how it's affecting our lives here as blacks and Hispanics. We have to come out of the Eurocentric views of our oppressor, of what marriage is. Marriage is not a piece of paper. Marriage is sacred and holy. And with that, I pass the class over to young man Jose. I get it for you. Good, good. Oh, it's right here.
We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. Mashat
Ma'asha.
Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. And this one is the Feast of Purim. 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Monday 2nd, March, and Tuesday the 3rd of March 2026. And you can find this on Esther 9:20 through 31. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, or a scarf.
And with that, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Latah Bashem Yahushai to the sisters. Shalom.